Well, life sometimes takes you down some long and winding paths, as McCartney said, the long and winding road, right? Um, Back in the mid 80s, I lived here in Fort Wayne, and then didn't know that 20 years later I'd end up moving back again and going to work for Sweetwater. Um, and I used to play lots of gigs with just my acoustic guitar and me. No, nobody else, just a solo gig, folk music, country music, some rock, stuff like that. And one night, I went to a place called Curly's Tavern. And I walked in, and there was a guy who was sitting there with a guitar, just like mine, and getting ready, and I thought, okay, he's doing the same thing I'm doing. And then the song started, and all of a sudden there was a bass and drums, and there was nobody else there. So Scott Asher out there, the drummers and the bass players and the other musicians you hear are not in the closet over there. They're on a bunch of electronics here. But I just thought that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. And I, to this day, remember hearing that for the first time, that the song he was playing was called Tulsa Time. And that was a hit for Don Williams and also for Eric Clapton. So forward the clock, it's like 20 years later, 25 years later, I'm playing in a charity golf outing for my company in Nashville. And I'm paired with a great songwriter named James House. And we had a great time playing golf and bonded. And it was all wonderful. It was on a Friday, and I was supposed to go home Saturday morning. And I said, so you playing any gigs? And he said, yeah, I'm playing at the Bluebird Cafe in the Round tomorrow night. Would you like to come? Easiest question anyone has ever asked me in my life. I said, oh yeah, I'd like to come. So we get there, and I find I've got a seat. If you've ever been to the Bluebird, it's like people are just crammed in there. I'm like 2 feet away from the stage. And the performers start coming in that are going to play with James. And this guy comes in a cowboy shirt, long hair. And James says, this is my friend, Danny Flowers. So I met Danny, and suddenly it occurred to me that he wrote Tulsa Time. Talk about what goes around comes around. And here I am playing gigs now with backing tracks. So Danny, I hope I don't butcher this too bad. Well, I left Oklahoma, driving in a Pontiac, just about to lose my mind. I was going to Arizona, maybe off to California, where the people all live so fine. My baby said I was crazy, my mama called me lazy. I was gonna show 'em all this time. I ain't no fooling, I don't need no more than schooling, I want to just walk the line. Living on Tulsa time, living on Tulsa time. You know me, I've been through it, but I set my watch back to it. Living on Tulsa time. There I was in Hollywood, thinking I was doing good, talking on that telephone line. But they don't need me in the movies, and nobody sings my songs. Guess I'm just wasting time. And then I got to thinking, and then I got to drinking. Showed 'em in a flash this time. I had no business leaving, and nobody would be grieving. Went on back on Tulsa time. I'm living on Tulsa time, living on Tulsa time. You know me, I've been through it, but I set my watch back to it. Living on Tulsa time. Living on Tulsa time, living on Tulsa time. You know me, I've been through it, but I set my watch back to it. Living on Tulsa time, living on Tulsa time, living on Tulsa time. You know me, I've been through it, but I set my watch back to it. living on Tulsa Time.